Good morning! Coming to you live from Axe Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay with your hosts, Matt and Jay! I have to move the microphone away from my face.
You woke her up.
Otherwise, it'll blow the speakers up in our heads. In our heads. The speakers in our heads will blow. That's all right. That's why it happens. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Really rainy, drizzly, really cold.
Really cold. Well, cold
It's
rain.
not really cold. It's cold rain.
Cold rain.
All right. So good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. My name is Matt.
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
Hi, and I'm Rachel.
This is Rachel. Now, we hear Steve talk about Rachel all the time here on the show. His better half,
That's right.
probably the one that keeps him in line.
It's a hard job, you know.
Tell it to my ex-wife.
The confessions of a good wife.
That sounds like a television show of some sort.
Yes, it does.
So we were supposed to cook today.
We're not cooking today.
We're not cooking today.
No.
No.
Epic fail.
The cook the cook left the building.
Well, it's early in the morning, okay? And it's hard to remember everything.
Whatever. Yeah.
You're gonna get it, man.
That's all right. I've had worse. You forget I've been married twice. So, oh, wow, there's an old picture, Good News Ministries. And it's a picture of the old band, those professional pictures. It's on there. See that? That picture right there.
Yes.
That's
so good morning.
Actually pretty cool.
What are we talking about today?
Well, we're talking about my lack of planning.
Epic fail cooking.
After I
Sure.
reminded you.
Well, you should have reminded me this morning. Just saying, because you reminded me before I went to sleep last night.
Oh.
And,
that does happen.
yeah, it does. So we're real excited. This upcoming Monday is the Doing the Right Thing Telethon.
Yes.
Axe Media live stream. It says Champion Award. Competition October 28th. Comedy, music, open performance, 6 to 8 p.m. And the final is October 29th, 6 to 8 p.m. Broadcast live on Facebook, YouTube. And then, of course, there's a number on there that you guys go to Axe Media Group's Facebook page. So we're still looking for some competitors, apparently.
Nobody wants to compete against you.
That's one thing that I thought. Do I really need to compete? That's not fair. Really.
No.
But Jim is adamant about it, so, I'll just get my fiddle and do a little something. All right, so Steve, yes, we're late because I left my watch at home, and I have it set for 5 minutes before, and it goes beep, 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 until you shut it off. Yeah, I'm sitting here, we're all talking, having a good time. I'm waiting to hear the alarm, and I look down, it's 8:05. Whoops. Uh-oh. What?
It happens.
Yeah.
So I learned a new joke. It's probably inappropriate. For
Yes,
the
Full
show.
House.
You want to hear it?
Well, it depends on if we need to the views in the.
Well, what do you get when you eat tin foil? Sheet metal.
Oh man!
That's
Did we really
bad
need
joke.
to hear that this morning? I guess it's early enough, so I guess.
I love that joke. That's my favorite. That's my new favorite joke.
That's almost as bad as Dad's jokes. He has the one. What did the one guy?
Well, it's obvious what you'd get if you eat tin foil, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the
Heavy metal.
sheet is a play on words there. I think. Steve Schultz
right,
says
so
you
I
better be
didn't
good, Steve.
Who, me? No.
Fry an
Steve.
egg and a bagel. Yeah, you could do that. I've done
do
that
that.
before. Sandy Brace says, hi, guys. Steve Schultz says, a big build-up and then a bigger letdown, Matt.
Oh.
Steve.
We love you,
morning,
Steve.
Wow.
Good morning, Scott.
Everything would be bigger to Steve, though.
Good morning, Sandy.
That's true.
Good chilly morning. You all have a blessed day. Thank you, Linda.
Yep.
Of course, Scott Holland.
Oh, does that mean she's not going to stay with us today?
No, I think she's just saying good morning. Have a
good
blessed day. I think that was just her way of saying, hey,
Yeah, you know,
morning.
that's
It
what
is
she
fall.
did. I talked to her yesterday, so we're good.
Linda.
No.
Are you talking Marsha? We're talking about Linda.
Oh,
How's she doing?
Good.
Good.
So I had a weird incident yesterday with the horse.
What?
oh
Yeah, I was
no.
telling you about this. I went out to feed the animals last night, and the horse that I ride, which is kind of mine and Dad's bull, he's a lot older than he looks and acts. So I'm feeding him all grain. I dump grain in his grain bucket, and he goes in this circle and then starts to go down, lay down. And I kept him from going down the first time, and then he did it again, and he just laid there instead of eating his food. I've never seen him do that. So I'm freaking out.
Uh-oh.
Dad's already doing a show up here at the time, so I'm calling Dad saying, "Hey, what do I do?" He said, "Well, go get a halter, put it on him, and try to get him up." But he said, "I'm saying a prayer right now that he get up and everything's fine." And I got up, I went back out there. I had the halter and lead rope in my hands, and I opened the door, and he's sitting there eating. He's standing up eating. But the weird part about it is the one that usually runs him off was letting him eat. Of course, there was a little bit of hay on the floor, too.
Mm-hmm.
So he must have thought, the one that runs him off must have looked at him and thought, hey, that's weird.
Good
Yeah, he
morning,
probably
Cindy.
needs
Just
some
like
food.
you.
Yeah, that's probably the only reason the horse got up is because Benny probably came in and,
Was going to eat his food.
yeah.
I bet you that's what's going on. Is he?
It's cold and he's old, and we're going to have to start feeding hay, I think, starting today. I'll talk to Dad, but as you know, it's cold rain, cold drizzle. I was worried about him.
Yeah. There's no jealousy. It's just that he's getting old.
Animals know.
Yeah. Well, I went out and checked on him this morning. He was still standing up, and he looked like he was really hoping for me to give him some food, so I'll probably sneak out there and give him all a little bit of grain later. Shh, don't tell anybody. Don't. Shh.
Yeah, it's a secret.
I didn't hear a thing.
Yeah.
Secret.
Don't let Penny know.
Raja Arzu sent me a message. How are you doing? I'm fine. All right, so
I really enjoy doing the Power Hour.
yeah. Next week is his last week.
What?
Skylar is an amazing man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he's
he's
leaving
going-
for the Marines.
Yeah. He's
So what's Deacon gonna do?
Deacon is going to stay with his parents.
Okay.
So he'll have people. I mean,
Yeah.
somebody will love on him, but I'm pretty sure he'll be really
We'll miss
sad.
him.
Yeah, we will.
He's gonna be a little distraught.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but he'll also have a bunch of people that
Love on him.
love on him,
Mhm.
because that's what he does.
Yeah, you
I-
won't be able to not. Yeah, he's going to show some love.
I also heard something that I never really thought of. If you're out and about and a service animal comes up to you without their owner around, that means they're trying to get help.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard that.
If they follow the dog to wherever they go, and because I mean that's what part of what service animals are trained to do.
Wow, that's great. I guess I didn't think about that. That makes sense, but I didn't.
I didn't either. And another thing I've been told, I read it was on somebody that conservation department person said if you find a baby deer by itself just laying there, don't mess with it. They're waiting for their mom to come back. A lot of times people think they've been abandoned and they're not. What they do is the mother has them lay down, like hide, while they go out and do whatever.
Forage.
And then come back. Forage, yeah. And then come back. So a lot of people pick them up thinking they've been abandoned and they have not. So it's another little bit of info for you this morning. So
Animal
We're
trivia.
just full of info on this.
so we got
fabulous
Rachel.
Friday.
Rachel
Information
sitting
show.
beside me this morning, the one that puts up with Steve McAllister on a daily
Yeah.
basis.
Yes, pray for her.
Yeah.
We do.
Please. Yeah.
We have been. We have been.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, there's a reason I'm single because I haven't found anybody that can go the distance as far as dealing with me.
Right.
So, I'm hard to deal with sometimes.
We have those
No.
days, don't we?
Oh,
we,
yeah,
we,
yeah, yeah.
we have those days.
Well, Jay even talked about whenever I was on my medication. I know it's weird hearing me say that, but when
Really?
I was on my medication, I took it mainly to stop smoking and stop eating so much and stuff. But it was also dulling my brain down. And he says I am harder to follow without it, but I am myself. That's how I was before. And then, now the writer's block is gone. That's what's cool about it. I didn't think that kind of medication would block your ability to write music and be
Depends
creative.
on the medication.
It was Wellbutrin.
Yeah.
And I was also contemplating mortality a lot. Not like wanting to kill myself or anybody else or anything like that. Just morbid thoughts about, hey, I'm going to die soon.
There's an expiration date.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was bothering me quite a bit. And I don't worry about that like that anymore. So, anyways, were you checking to make sure that you weren't under distress?
Yes.
Yeah. By the way, morning, Kara.
Oh, yeah, you've got a...
Watch party going on.
Did you see where Hunter got killed? He got gored by a buck he shot. He thought it was dead. Boy, that would be...
Ooh.
That put a real damper on the day.
Yeah. Ouch.
Wow.
Probably stuck him in some of his vital organs.
Probably. Deer aren't no joke. They look like gentle creatures, but that and that elk. Did you see that video of that elk?
Yes.
There's a reason for horns.
Gored
The
that
horns.
passerby. I guess. Was he
He
taking
had...
pictures?
Well, somebody was taking video, and this is back before cell phones had cameras.
Oh, that one. Yes.
He put
And the
on
go-
the elk scent.
He put on the elk pee,
Mm-hmm.
and it was either a deer. It was
It was a deer.
It was.
so it was a deer that attacked him, and it just. I mean, it was like just
I thought it
striking
was
at
an
him.
elk,
Oh,
but
yeah.
it was a deer. I thought it was an elk, but doesn't
He was
matter.
very.
Either way,
he,
it was a big animal.
he was
with
focused,
a lot of horns.
and he must have been fit because that went on for quite a while.
Yes.
And a couple of minutes in a situation like that is an eternity. And
Yeah.
if you're not fit and able to have the stamina, you run out.
I would just curl into a big ball of blub.
I've been there, not with a deer, but yeah, ooh. And that's a scary moment when you're running out and you're hoping. I hope they feel the same way I do,
Right.
because it's time's up.
Sorry, I had to center myself. Look on the cameras for the here in a couple minutes. We're going to do a commercial.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I say. Not in the world. All right.
So don't try stupid things like that unless you are fit and ready to handle
It's
the
true.
consequences.
Or
because
do
consequences
stupid things
can be
like that
severe.
and take video and send it to us because we want to watch it.
Yeah, right. Oh,
You never know where
don't
that's
say
going to
that.
land.
The
These
views and
state-
opinions expressed on the show are not the views and opinions expressed by Axe Media Group, Axe Television Network, or Axe any of its subsidiaries, or
Yeah,
Something like that.
whatever you call them.
that was exactly what I
Subordinates.
was thinking.
Or axe anything.
Yeah, yeah.
Axe any, yeah. You really better axe somebody. So we're real excited. We've got the telethon coming up. It's going to be fun to see how that plays out because nobody has ever done a telethon before.
It's going to be interesting 2 days.
It's going to be like this, but 12 hours a day.
Lord help
But
us
you
all.
know what? You know what's really cool about it is I'm excited in the fact that we'll be able to know in the future what it's like to do 12 hours of
So
broadcasting.
it's going on to 8
Yeah, 8 to
at
8.
night. 8 to 8.
Yeah. So that'll be a good example of how things are going to work
When we
whenever
have a
we
full-time
when we
studio.
have a full schedule. So we'll probably have to have a bigger thing with more what do you call those things?
things.
Studios.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
We're gonna have to add a studio for this system, this thing.
Yeah,
So
right.
I'm gonna have to get out all my cords and stuff. And
Well, that's why
Mics.
Rachel, she can help out.
does Barney still have the drum mics?
I do.
You do. Okay.
They're in my camper
All
locked
right.
up.
So we'll have to get those.
I
Because
didn't
we've
mi-
got all the other mics here, don't we?
No.
No.
No, you got more mics at the house.
I don't even know where anything is anymore.
Well, you'll find it. We'll find it. It'll be all right. We probably need to bring a couple of those.
Says you.
Are you getting tired over there?
Oh,
So you're
I
gonna help me
usually
today
work
put some
this
things
time of
up?
day.
Because that will help me sort some things out.
Did you just yawn?
Yes,
Well, I
did
got to work
yawn.
tonight, and I got to get up
Okay.
early, so I got to hurry up and get home, get to bed.
Oh.
Because I get to go to Freeway, and then I go to work,
Yeah.
and then I work Saturday. And good news is that I talked to the other lady that I work with. She works the days that I'm off, and she's going to work Sunday and Monday for me. And
Wow,
then-
that's good. You found somebody then. That's good.
yeah, and so I won't be. Good morning, welcome to the morning. The morning snooze.
Yeah.
We've done that a couple of times.
And do
Jay,
you know anything about the schedule? Are you prepared for what it's
yeah,
gonna look like?
I gotta download the email. I'll show. Yeah, I figure I figured we'll just wing it, you know? Isn't that how it's
Hey,
supposed to go?
usually that's how it usually goes, and you guys are doing great.
You know? We used to try and plan everything.
I feel bad because I won't be able to be here very much.
Well, you'll be here in
Leaving you
spirit.
on your own.
In spirit. That's right.
No.
So beautiful.
Wasn't it?
Watch out.
What? Uh-oh.
I think we should just,
She's
Jay and
peaks.
I tell you what, Jay and I'll get up. You guys can take the show from
Yeah,
here. Just hear. We just want to hear how your conversation between you two goes at the house when nobody's around. You know, minus the cuss words if there are any,
And minus breakfast.
and definitely minus breakfast. And bless your heart, Steve and Rachel. You guys brought orange juice
For
to
the
go with
breakfast.
the breakfast,
That,
Yes.
yeah.
and then it became breakfast.
Yeah.
Orange juice is not just for.
I love orange juice. It's really good, especially if it's got pulp in it.
This one
But
is
that
not,
was
so
actually
sorry.
that was a hint. It says no pulp in it.
Well, that's all right. I mean, no pulp is good too.
Okay.
I'm not like, oh, screw that. Oh, no,
What would you be like?
Okay. Well,
Right. And there's that.
Words to live by.
So let's do real quick. I'm just curious about something here. The weather. Does anybody know what it's supposed to continue doing?
Rain.
That's a good observation.
It's supposed to stop raining this afternoon
Yes,
for a
it
little
is.
while.
Light
then
rain.
it's supposed
And
to
then
stop.
it's supposed to be
Sorta like
nice and sunny
yesterday.
tomorrow. with
They
high
got a
s-
wind speed at 13 miles per hour with a humidity at 92%. The real feel today in the shade is 33 degrees. The actual temperature is 44 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, we will have periods of rain for at least the next 120 minutes. We're going to expect rainy weather this evening through tomorrow afternoon. So that's exciting news. Let's look at the daily forecast. Okay, so coming Sunday, supposed to get back up into the late 60s.
Late 60s.
The late 60s.
Where have you been?
The high 60s, lower 70s, and then of course moving on Monday 61, and then it's going to drop down continuously through the week until Friday, the first Friday in November, jump back up into the 50s, according to the AccuWeather forecast.
Halloween's gonna stink for some people.
So I have Ephesians 5, 19 and 20. Do we want to hear that?
Yeah.
Sure.
Speaking to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your hearts to the Lord, giving thanks always for all things to God the Father in the name of our Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Ephesians 5, 19 and 20.
NKJV on my end.
That is a good one.
It is. It is.
Amen.
Speaking to one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing and making melody in your heart to the Lord. That's good. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is.
That's what we're trying to do here.
It's true.
I mean, it's a little bit difficult with Steve here, but that's, just kidding, Steve. It's easier. I was just talking to Jay yesterday. We love having you here on the show.
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's like hanging out with your high school buddies.
Yeah.
Minus all the shenanigans and misbehaving.
Are you sure?
Now, how long have you two been married?
21 years. Thank you. Thank you.
We've been together 23 though.
Yeah.
So you were together 2 years before you got married.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys live together before you got married?
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm just saying, a lot of people do that now because they want to make sure that they can live with the person.
23 years ago isn't now.
No, that's true.
A lot of things
What?
happened
You guys
23
were
years
breaking
ago.
ground.
Yes, we are.
23 years
23 years, that's an eternity in today's, according to today's.
She might say that, but I won't.
You know?
Let's see, I wonder who actually got the good end of the stick on this one, right?
I have to admit,
You-
I did.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I have to agree with that.
Confessions, Rachel.
You're not sticking around for no reason.
She's quiet. Oh,
well,
man.
No.
Well,
He's a good-
Jay and
he's a
I
good
have been
man.
together for the last 5 years.
It's been grand.
Yeah,
Congratulations.
yeah.
What
We're
are-
not married, of course.
I was going to say after the first year, aren't you? Oh.
No, that's we're not gay lovers. We're cousins, and that would be awkward.
Yeah.
We have had
well,
people.
and neither one of us are gay.
Yeah,
Amen.
that would make it even more awkward.
But we are partners.
Yeah, we
We've
are.
been doing this together. We've partnered in this for 4 years now. July 14th.
July 7th
July 7th
was 4 years.
Yep.
So
Before
almost
that, we were doing Good News Band for 3 years, which was a music ministries that couldn't afford to pay a band.
Yeah. And we still do that from
We
time to
produced
time.
some albums, an album in my house, and we were going to do another one. We started the second one, and we
Yeah.
were actually off to a really great start.
Yeah.
What a great experience that was, because it was just song after song after song that I felt were just
And if the Lord wills it, it'll happen again.
of beautiful quality.
I got 3 songs in the
Amazing
works
quality.
that
As
that
good
I'm
as
real
any
excited
music
about.
I've heard.
We got 2 conversations going on at once. Isn't that great? This is how we talk
Hey,
normally.
well, you know that, you know, so, just
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, but it was,
yeah,
everybody was talking about it over there.
Yeah,
With the
we-
gun
we-
over there.
No, sometimes
With
we
that,
have
and
other
you know,
things
you go
on our
down
mind.
like
Okay,
that. It's
okay,
crazy.
okay. I can do the voice of reason here. Don't do that.
Yeah, break it up. Sending us to
Oh,
our
we
rooms.
did that. It went so well, though.
Well, I heard a group of radio personalities that they did that once, and then they used that recording like numerous times over the rest of their.
As an introduction.
And like whenever they would be talking to somebody that said something really awkward or something that they couldn't really come up with an answer to, and I won't mention the radio personalities because we don't have their permission, but rhymes with
we just do it live every time.
Rex and Larry. It rhymes with Rex and Larry.
Okay, so I don't
Got
even
it.
know who that is, but anyway.
You know,
You can't
Yeah.
say that.
I didn't say it.
Nice hat. I like your hat.
I had the microphone in front of my face. You couldn't hear me say it.
Yeah. .bz.
.bz.
Speaking of which,
Excuse me.
we're going to do a bit of a commercial. Let's do .bz to start off with. Wouldn't that be-
Hey, let's start out with .bz.
All right, I'm having a sketchy connection here.
Are you a sketchy connection? Connection?
Yeah, a connection.
Sketch-
Action?
Connection.
Let me find my
Is that a
face
new
here.
word?
We're going to merge over to Matthew for a commercial.
Are we?
And are you ready?
Yeah, let's do it.
You're there, sir.
So, good morning, everybody. I don't know why it seems kind of dark over here. This is kind of weird.
.bz.
Anyways, welcome to my desk. I'm glad to have everybody here today. Today's show is brought to you by Natural Solutions Store.
.bz.
.bz.
Yeah, and the product
It's
that I
not
want
double BZ.
Nope, and it's
It's
not busy.
.bz.
It's not biz, it's BZ.
BZ.
So
Get busy.
The BZ.
the product that I'm going to talk to you guys about.
Doing all right, Matt? Staying with
yes.
us?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
Where are we at?
Huh?
Sorry. Product I want to talk about today, let's see here. Brain Focus. That
Brain
seems to be very
Focus.
relevant.
.bz.
I think we need a bottle of that today.
Yeah, we need to probably, does that come in a way to, like an IV drip?
An atomizer.
Supersize.
.bz.
Supersize.
So our fast-acting brain focus formula was carefully formulated to provide a perfect blend of ingredients to increase your mental performance,
The
promote
perfect
positive
blend.
mood, and increase natural energy and ignite your mind's full potential. Our
Full
fast-acting brain focus
potential.
formula was. Why did they put that on there twice?
What's
So if
on
you, the best thing that this thing does is that it helps to improve your brain function, increase attention length. What?
What?
.bz.
And
.bz.
it's natural, safe, and effective to help build brain connections. So for those of you out there who are having a hard time focusing, go on to naturalsolutionstore.bz and try out a bottle of it today. Back to you guys.
.bz.
.bz.
We are back.
And we're back.
We're back.
So, what made
Here
you
we are.
decide to come on the show with us today?
Breakfast.
It was probably.
Actually, that was
kind
a
of
big-
little hint of breakfast. Hey, you come on, we're gonna have some.
Well, we got baby sharks over there, so we
We
can.
do have baby sharks. No
Yeah.
milk.
Well, we have half and half. That would
Half and
work.
half.
Hey,
That'll work. No, really. Tell us.
well, Steve invited me. He's like, "Hey, come on the show and let's."
Hey,
surprise
you know, we
everybody."
want to
And
know.
I'm like,
He
"Okay,
talks
fine."
about you all the time. It's nice
I
to
know.
put a face with the name. Although
Yeah.
we saw
Well.
your face at the annual banquet that we have. 'Cause you
Yeah.
were at the banquet this year, right?
Yeah, I was there. So,
Yeah.
Sounds so. The food was amazing.
Yes, it
Yeah, it
was.
was.
Big cream corn that they had.
Yes.
So tell our audience about yourself. Oh, you're Steve's wife.
yes.
And what do you do?
Actually, I currently work at Belk.
No, the sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
Right.
That is actually in Branson, the
Uh-huh.
Branson Mining. So come in and say hi.
Is
what
that
do
a
they-
clothing store?
Yes, it is.
Ah,
Uh-huh.
and it's a good clothing store.
Yes.
It's in
Yes, it is.
Branson. Of course, it's a good
Yeah.
clothing
Yeah.
store.
So check out
They're
Belk.
actually they're based out of North Carolina, Charlotte.
Right.
So
Tar Heel State.
I heard they have
Uh-huh.
great. I heard their possums nap in the road up there.
oh, possums? What?
Yeah.
In North Carolina?
Yeah,
Yeah.
they play dead in the road.
That's a bad place to play.
They do that in South Carolina.
Because it becomes a reality. First time I ever saw a possum play dead was in Jason's yard.
Right.
The dogs were sitting there just crunching on its back, you know.
Oh.
Yeah.
And it looked dead, and I'm like, it's dead. But its tail wrapped around the stick that we were trying to use to carry it out
And get it away from
and
the
get it
dogs.
away from the dogs. And then we left it in the yard, and I looked, and its eye was very, very clear, you know. And it, whenever you came close to it with a stick to poke on it, it blinked. It's like, I don't know what kind of
Ouch.
grades it got in playing dead, but they probably were very low
So that
marks.
should
at
be
school.
the end of the story there.
It is the end of the story.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's not. You guys can imagine.
So-
It's bad.
But now, how did you guys meet?
Oh, yeah. Even better question. Thank you. I'm talking about dead possums.
Oh yeah, I was concerned.
Wow.
The dogs loved it.
Okay.
Exactly.
It was church,
he's
wasn't
off
it?
his medication.
Oh,
So-
oh no.
Put it like
Damn.
that.
So you met at church.
We met at church. My ex, his family was going there, and
Sorry, I need some coffee.
oh no, you
Me
wait,
too.
is that good?
Huh?
For him to have coffee.
Oh,
Right.
It is for now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you hear the concern in her voice? It's real concern, ladies and gentlemen.
That's real love there. Christian
yeah.
sisterly love.
Yes, it is.
Okay. So I started to attend there, and then Steve came back from Branson. Actually, he had moved back, and he started attending the same church. And so I look much younger than I am, and so he thought I was like 17 and I was 24.
Ah.
I wanted her to be on my drama team, and her girlfriend was like, "You need to take her on." I'm like, "I'm not taking. You're serious? She's a senior in high school." And they started laughing and, "No, try going up." And I'm like, "What do you mean up?" She's older than that. I'm like, 18? No. And then finally I got to 24, and they're like, "Hello," and I was like, 24. Okay, I'll date. I'd
And how
like
old
to.
were you?
I was 31.
Wait, really?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Had to
yeah. I was 31.
That was a really, really long time ago.
It was.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
So.
So you asked her out.
Well, it took a few. It wasn't my fault, but
Hey, you know,
it wasn't
You
her
were
fault either.
encouraged.
Seriously,
I
no,
was in a
it
bad situation. I'll put it that
Yeah,
way.
and-
It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't pretty.
had nothing to do with. Seriously, it had
wasn't
nothing to do with me.
him.
Yeah.
But it took 4 or 5 times, and finally, we went to an ice cream place, and in 96, June 26th,
Yes.
96.
And that was it, right?
Yeah, we
You
started
was-
dating since then. We haven't stopped.
How old were you in 96?
How old was I in 96?
Yeah.
That was a long time ago. No, no.
Well,
Yeah. Who wants to do that kind of math?
I'm just kind of curious because in 96, I was 16.
Uh-oh, you know what that means?
Dude, no.
I could be your father. Go on.
I got a pretty good dad. I don't know if you know him.
Yes. Oh,
Well,
I do.
El Bruso, Piersono.
I was 27.
You were 27?
Yep.
Wow. She looks like the youngest person here.
She is, isn't she?
No. You
No.
96, you were 16?
Oh.
I was older than you.
We're not going to ask you how old you were in 96 because
Yeah, we weren't.
I've
asking.
already,
people are too good at math for
yeah,
that.
I'm sure they've already figured it out. So, but it's okay. I'm grateful to be the age that I am. I
And
know a
when
lot
did
of
you
folks-
graduate?
Well, that gives you kind of a hint there too.
Right.
You know.
My brother Scott says, brother and Jay and Steve and Steve's wife.
Everybody
Love you,
forgets my name
Scott.
too, so that's okay.
Right.
Her name is
Well,
Rachel.
welcome to the morning drive, and thank you for coming this morning.
Thank you,
Thank
man.
Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
And we're very sorry about the breakfast thing. We are actually going to get that together, though.
Okay.
And you know, I wouldn't let anybody talk you into coming for breakfast until you've seen that it is a regular thing live on the show. Because then, because once we really get into and have it set up and we're ready to go and we actually do it, then it'll really.
Well, I was also
turn into
broke
something.
until midnight. So
Yeah, and so was I.
Me too.
It happens.
I'm broke till 3.
also, let's keep Jim and Pam in your prayers. If I remember correctly, they lost one of their llamas that passed away yesterday.
Aw.
And these llamas, okay, these are llamas specifically for like, what do you call it? Therapy type llamas.
Therapy llamas,
for
yeah.
autism.
Yeah. So these are good
Well, I
llamas.
imagine for everything, for everybody.
Yeah. Unless they spit at you.
Then it's not
think
fun.
there's-
I
don't
think
theirs
alpacas
do.
are the ones that spit
I
at
think
you.
theirs are domesticated.
Yeah, they're good.
they
They're
don't-
good
The
looking llamas.
alpacas are the ones that spit.
They've got llamas and alpacas.
You're right. I remember I met some of them.
One is smaller than the other. That's the only real notable difference that I could tell. It's like one was shorter than the other.
I know if you got treats, they're after them. They want
Oh
'em.
yeah, oh yeah. And they're smart. You can't hide them either.
And they'll be your friend.
Just like my horse that I ride, that's mine and Dad's. He'll lick your hand, like he'll lick your hand and your arm. He won't bite you. He'll just, like a dog, licking your hand.
I had a horse trying to bite me once. It
Yeah.
kept doing this.
I was,
Go ahead.
We came here. We went to our honeymoon actually. We were supposed to go up to.
And you never
Upper
left.
Peninsula.
You're still living in Branson, aren't you?
went there and never left.
Never left. We went up to. We were supposed to go to the Upper Peninsula. Yeah,
Upper
of Michigan.
Peninsula?
Of Michigan for our honeymoon.
Okay.
And something happened and we couldn't do it. So Steve's like, "Let's go down to Branson." I'm like, "Okay." So.
And then you just went and got a home loan for the place you were staying at, right?
We went back home afterwards, but we went horseback riding. Actually, at the Shepherd of the Hills, because they had horseback riding near. But
I was too fat to ride there. They told me I couldn't.
Aww.
I was 5 pounds heavier than
limit.
their limit. And she
Oh.
didn't even look at the scale. She goes, "Oh, you're too big. We can't let you ride." I was like, "I'm
Wow.
250 pounds."
Aw.
Oh man.
No, you're more than that. Here, I'll stand on the scale, but I'm sure I'm right. Like, well, you guys are so nice.
Yeah.
Aw.
So anyway.
Anyways,
So anyway.
he was. We were on horses, and mine wouldn't like stay on the trail. She kept going off and on. I'm like,
It's an adventure.
yeah. Everybody else would go to line and climb up the hill, and my horse would kind of rear off and go around the trees. I'm like, really? His was trying to bite him. Was nipping at him as he
Like turning his head around.
His head around and trying to nip him.
He was probably just. That's probably a game. He probably wouldn't have actually bit you and hurt you. That sounds like a game that a horse would play because
really?
he knows. Yeah. See, those horses know those trails like the back of their hands. You know, they don't.
The back of your
Whatever they
paws.
have, yeah.
So they get bored. Horses get bored.
yeah.
They find stuff to entertain themselves. Pretending to nip at you is one way. If I was a horse, I would be doing that too. You're like, watch them
Watching
squirm.
you, yeah.
Go. Oh, sorry about that.
And that's basically what and his name was
Boo.
Boo.
Ah, I went to a place in Canyon, Texas, and this is after the letdown of the horseback riding in Branson. And I walked up. This guy's wearing a 6-shooter on his hip, you know, cowboy. I mean, and it's down in the. It's like old school. It didn't even look like he had power.
Texas, as you imagine.
And I said, I'm a little bit over 250 pounds. Is that going to be a problem? He goes, you'll be all right. And he put me on the biggest paint that he had, and this thing was massive. It was very tall, and it was very, very dead-headed. Because, I mean, and you don't even have to hold on to the reins for those horses because they've done the trails so many times. But
What does dead-headed mean?
means he's
A little slow.
hard to get going.
Oh,
Slow. That's slow, yeah.
yeah.
Donkeys are a different breed.
Don't get me started. I just watched the whole entire Shrek movie franchise yesterday. So don't even get me started.
Started with what, Matt?
Ogres are not like cakes. Ogres are like onions. End of story. Bye-bye. See you later. The kingdom of far away donkey. That's where we're going. Far away. Yeah. I'm just so bored. Well, find a way to entertain yourself. And then you see him in the back, and he's like, and
Are we
both-
there yet? Are
both
we there yet?
Shrek and Fiona are like, and then it's quiet. it's like, for 5 minutes, would you just be quiet for 5 minutes? And then his mouth comes in slowly between them, and you can see them looking like, and then you see, then Shrek asked, "Are we there yet?" She said, "Yeah, we are." That is a really good movie.
It really is, and I've cried. I've laughed so hard at times. You know,
Yeah.
it's one of those moments where you
Puss
just
in Boots. He's one of my favorite
Puss in
characters.
Boots.
Oh, now the ogre, pray for mercy from Puss in Boots. Let's take that sword and give him the Bob Barker treatment. Nude him right here, right now.
You see how much fun you've missed in the mornings.
Don't get me, man, because once I start,
She's been watching.
yeah,
She's been watching. I can tell because she's had some information that you'd only get through watching.
the coffee is kicking in. Scott says that's true. When a horse bites its teeth, have to go all the way together before they can open their mouth again.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So that would be
Wow.
very bad.
Steve says, I had a Shetland pony that would bite. What's really funny about that is you can see if Steve were to ride any horse, a Shetland pony seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It would look-
it's
if
not
you
just a
took
toy
picture-
horse; it's a
Because
real
he's-
horse.
Is
If
he
you
so
took
short?
a picture, it would look like the real. He'd look like a cowboy.
Marsha's got miniature horses. She got 2 miniature. They're like
Aw.
literally, like let's say this is their hoof. They're literally that tall.
Yeah, I've
like-
seen them. Yeah.
And they're one of them is not so grumpy, but the other one's pretty grumpy.
Yeah.
Like
They have attitudes.
Oh,
Yeah.
everything, you know.
they're
All
cute
creatures could have, you know,
Like
I'm-
Steve
good
does.
personality.
though, like Steve. And you know
What?
that,
Not me.
and you don't
No,
even
yeah,
have,
Steve.
and you don't even have to specify which Steve. They all, I think it's in the name.
I was
Yeah.
just gonna say the other Steve might have an attitude, but not me.
No.
They are 24 inches tall, so that's 2 feet
Ew.
tall.
What? What was that?
So they're
2
just a
feet tall.
little bit. They're just a little bit shorter than Steve Schultz.
Yep.
So,
A little bit.
We still love you, Steve.
We love. you,
oh,
Steve.
absolutely.
Of course we do.
Although if we didn't, we wouldn't be picking on him.
What is my feet didn't touch the ground? He says. I remember Scott. All right, so Scott and his wife at the time, years and years ago, had bought this ugly little pony for Ashley, and this thing it had foundered. Its toes were not taken care of, so it looked like she was wearing elf shoes, elf hoofs. You know, they curved up and all that. She was the meanest thing. I tried to get on her. My feet would touch the ground, thank God. Otherwise, she would have completely bucked me off. But yeah, she bucked me off and basically bucked me up in the air and walked out from underneath me. She was mean. She was mean.
Man,
Shetland ponies are mean.
you wouldn't think of course, like you said, you know, animals look innocent.
Like
but
little,
they-
the little guy complex, you know?
yeah,
Like Chihuahuas, they're so tiny, but they're so grumpy.
they're ankle biters.
Shih Tzus, if you get a Shih Tzu that's mean, that's terrible. I had one that was at a friend's house, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look like he'd be that bad. No, he's mean. They said, oh, that's all right. I'm good with dogs. And he came up and he lashed himself onto my Achilles tendon,
Oh.
and I proceeded to fling him across the room because he was still attached
Dude,
to my
he-
tendon.
He was like wanting to do a blood test.
Oh, man, it was crazy. I'd never seen it. I mean, I guess I've seen dogs that mean, but never been on the receiving end of a bite like that, except for the time one bit me in the face.
Ouch.
In its defense, imagine this is a dog's face. I'm right here like this. Literally doing this.
Well, no wonder you scared him.
My dad's friend Bob said, don't mess with that dog, it'll bite you, because it was a cattle dog.
Oh man.
And it warned me. It warned me. Mm-hmm. You know that look the eyes get where they're like, they kind of just stare at you and then kind of look away like, I'm going to hurt you right now. I didn't pay no mind to it, and I got bit in the face. And then the dog got spanked for biting me, which, you know, in retrospect, the dog shouldn't have got spanked. I should have.
Yeah.
But I got bit in the face, so that's pretty well.
Well, that's better. That's meaner than a spank.
And it was I think it was a border collie and a
Oh.
blue heeler mix.
Ooh.
Awesome
My
dogs.
dog is a collie mix of some kind, I think. But I have she'll bark at everything all night long.
Scott
But-
said he took that ugly
a lovely
pony from a
dog,
guy
though.
that was mistreating it.
Huh?
Scott said he took that pony from a guy who was mistreating it,
Oh.
or just not feeding it.
Well,
Ashley's
obviously,
pony.
if I had the foundering.
Yeah. Horses, if you're not breeding them, they are very, very expensive.
Yeah.
Breeding them, at least, you can make money on
Offset
it.
the cost. Mhm.
But, you either use them to round up cattle and stuff, or it's a joy to have them. It's a lot of work. Anyways,
You know,
went all over the place.
I do want to be serious just for a minute. Just for a
All right,
minute.
all right, let's take it down, folks, just a little bit.
No, be praying for me today because I am going to my first MDA clinic today. They're going to find out. I'm going to find out what in the world's going on, what stage I'm at in the process of that.
MDA, what does that mean?
Muscular
Muscular
Dystrophy
Dystrophy Association?
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And so I always say MDA, and I just assumed everybody knew what MDA was, but they don't.
Prayer warriors, listen up.
And it's the CMT that I have, the Charcot-Marie-Tooth that I was telling you about. Well, that's a neuromuscular disease, and it's in the family of the muscular dystrophy family. So I'm going to see some therapists today and neurologists, and so if you just keep me in your prayers, prayer warriors, I really appreciate it.
God still heals folk too.
Amen.
Seen it happen at one of the Axe Fests one year. Dad, it was whenever they were doing the where they had the praise and worship, and Dad was sitting there and they were praying for somebody. He had a big old something swollen in his throat right here, that it was huge. And as they were praying for him, Dad said, look at that. And it was shrinking right before their eyes. As they were praying for it, it went away before they were done praying for it. And Dad doesn't lie about Dad
I'm
doesn't
sure.
lie. So he saw it, and I wished I would have seen it. But we've also seen miracles or witnessed them here on not this show, but whenever we were doing the radio show by itself. I believe it was Jim Wining's daughter-in-law or something. I can't remember now, but she was in the
6
hospital.
millimeters kidney stone.
Was it 6 or was it 9? I thought it was
Might
9.
have been
Wow.
Yeah, and
That
they
is
were
just unreal.
they were prepping her for surgery,
I would die.
and he asked to pray. We all prayed. We stopped what we were doing and we prayed on the air. And then about 10 minutes after that, she passed it, and they didn't have to do surgery.
Wow.
They'd have to do surgery on me.
Prayers do change things, that's for
Oh,
sure.
without a doubt. Without a doubt. Look at me. Look at Jay. Acts Ministry, and Dad had Acts Ministry, everybody praying for me the whole entire time whenever I was drinking and partying and misbehaving. And whenever I saw Dad, he was never mean to me about it. He was just always, he would give me advice and then pray with me, pray for me, and then try to get me to go to church with him and stuff. But the prayer, I believe without that prayer, I probably would not have.
I think it was my girlfriend's mother who prayed me out of it.
Yeah.
Because
I'll
she was
tell
a
you
prayer
what.
warrior. She spent every
Morning,
day
Nikki
in
Skaggs. Welcome to the
at
party.
her table praying, and
Morning, Nikki.
she had a book full of prayers, and I think that I must have been in that book because that's what I say. They say you have to reach rock bottom, and I'd reached rock bottom many times. And the time
Kicker is,
that-
you're probably still in that book.
and where I was at the time was not my worst or lowest. And I had tried to recover from alcoholism so many times. And I think it must have been her.
And it was like
praying.
an outer body experience when you were going to get more.
It must have been her petitioning God, and God answered her request.
She probably prayed a lot more than just one time for you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
I
I'm
know
sure.
that.
You know,
Yeah,
just like
absolutely.
with myself. I mean, Dr. Paul remembers how sick I was a few years ago, and I was like in a zombie state to the point where Rachel had to feed me for 3 months, spoon feed me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's hard. I battled depression through that because
Well, praise Jesus, you got through it, and thank you for serving like that. It's
Because it was tough on her. It really was. People were trying to rally around her and saying everything's going to be all right, and they just didn't know whether I was going to live or die.
Well,
And so you battled depression through that
I battled
time?
depression through it because with that kind of care, when you become a caregiver like that, it takes up your life. Really, it does. And a lot of times people, they pray for you, but a lot of times the people don't. They just don't feel led to step up and say, "Hey, I'll watch, take care of them for a few hours so you can have some time for yourself." And I didn't really. It was kind of hard to get that. So, only contact I really had was like Facebook. You know, somebody talk to me on here, you know, so I could have access to the outside world. Other than that, I was like always, you know, let's go to the doctors, let's go.
And was it just the 3 months? Was it, well, I shouldn't say just, because that is an intensive time.
Yeah.
It was for that period of time. It was 3 months for that. It's kind of happened off and on over the years. But yeah, when those things kind of happen and you just,
It started really in May, and then it went through September, but the last 3 months
Yeah.
was intense.
yeah.
Well, we are almost out of time here. Real quick, I want
Already.
to take a real quick opportunity to remind everybody. Please tune in this Monday morning, starting at 8 a.m. is the Axe Media Group first annual live telethon. 12 hours each day, Monday and Tuesday, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. We're gonna have all kinds of stuff, and I'm pretty sure there'll be stuff added last second.
Of course.
That's what it's going to sound like.
But the good thing is from that point on, we can take that time. We'll have a whole year to plan for the next one,
That's right.
so it will be a lot better. But this is real exciting. It's always fun and nerve-wracking to go about new stuff. But we're real excited about it. Please tune in. We still need sponsors and we still need help financially. We have quite a high bar set as far as our goal. We want to be able to continue to do this for as long as the Lord wills it, which hopefully is for the rest of until He comes.
If I may ask, through that time, what sustained you?
The Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I couldn't do it by myself.
You know, I was watching you while you said that, and you said the Lord, and the look on your face was really, truly amazing. And I just want to say that, you know, we all go through really difficult times, and maybe the worst thing that we've experienced is not quite so difficult. But for us, our worst is our worst, and it's hard to get through. And when you said that, I think that's really what it is. You know, we've got to depend on the Lord, because He is faithful, and He does love us, and He is there during those times.
I think that's a good place to end it for today. Thank you for being on with us today, Rachel. Thank you for putting up with me.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. You had a lot of practice before you got here with him.
Yeah.
So, and
Amen.
Steve, thank you for being here. And again, thank you for the orange juice. Be
You're
sure and tune in next for the Basics of Faith with Dr. Marty Hamilton. We'll be back on Monday, 8 a.m. Start the telethon. Be here or be square. I didn't rhyme. Anyways, until then, my friends,
Tried.
God bless you and keep you. We love you. My name is Matt,
My name is Jay.
My name is Steve.
I'm Rachel.
and this has been
The Morning Drive.
Thoughts be easy.